Hey guys, welcome to another NWOpening. Today we are looking at the Legends Series 30 Michelle McCool from the Build-A-Figure Bob Backlund wave. Now I received this recently, already opened without the Build-A-Figure Bob Backlund part, so there doesn't seem much point in leaving her in there for too long when she's already open. This was a cool figure to pick up. Another one ticked off for the women's division, and definitely not one I was expecting to get in box, because I wasn't really expecting her to get a new figure. I was expecting to pick this up as a nice condition Lucy for cheap on eBay, but you know, whatever, we got it here. And I tell you what, as someone who's out of the loop now, he doesn't have Instagram, this was literally how I found out about this figure. I don't think I'd ever seen this before. I saw it on eBay, and honestly, I really like it. I love the bright green attire. I think it's really cool. Got mixed feelings on the belt, but we'll get into that later on. So we've got this new modern Legends box design, of course. Picture of Michelle on the side. Super sharp jaw on that. Look at that. Look at the angle on that. Like, that's the sharpest thing I've ever seen in my life. We've got the bio on the back because it's Legends. It's an American exclusive figure. That means it gets a bio. And in this wave, there is one figure that I would absolutely love, and that is the Mr. Fuji. But I will not hold my breath over here in the UK. Still pretty cool that we've been able to get Michelle, and they're definitely fairly plentiful as well. So it should be easy if you're after one yourself and you're also from the UK. But yeah, really cool figure. Not sure which, is that the Austin with the beer cooler? A Jesse Ventura, which would very much be the kind of figure I would pick up if I had my own house and, you know, enough money to just own a copy of everyone, and then maybe he'd turn up in some classic Rumbles and stuff like that. And the Bob Backlund, I'm not too bothered about either, but I'm also not going to pretend we would ever get anywhere near it. So I am more than happy to purchase this without the Build-A-Figure piece to get it nice and cheap. So, with this already being open, we can just pull open the side flaps. That's what she looks like in the shell. And that's what she looks like in the shell on the floor. And then, of course, as we discovered with the Iron Sheik not too long ago, we get this nice backing card. I'm not going to lie, it looks like it's been a bit mangled by whoever it was that took the Build-A-Figure piece. But we do still need the scissors because we still need to cut her ties out. Silly me. We'll get those hands out. I mean, one of the ties around her wrist. Look at this. We've got one tie over the wrist, yeah? Other arm. That's just loose in there. Has that come out? Has that just come out of the plastic or something? It looks like it was never there. In fact, if we could just snap that other one, yeah, which we have done. Yeah, we don't need scissors then. We can just slide all of this out. Slide the belt through there. And back out the other way. And then gently get this nice little pillow, this plastic pillow for a head. Ease her out nice and easy. Oh, she's got some on her feet. We do need the scissors. God damn it. Oh, I've knocked the belt over and get that foot flat. The foot's really stiff. I don't know if I can get the foot flat. Okay, she's just going to have to lean back like that for a second because first concern for her joints is I can't straighten out either of her feet. And second concern for her joints is that the arms don't raise the same way, which is why she's holding the belt so wonky like that. But we'll get into the joints a little bit later on, like we always do. So, this is an awesome figure. It's basically a redo of the old blue one, but it's green instead. And obviously, it's a very nice colour, very nice shade of green. And I like my bright attires, my nice bright greens and yellows and stuff like that. So this was a really cool figure. Obviously, I wanted to pick up a Michelle anyway. So as soon as I saw this, this was like, wow, and must get. Of course, we got the cross decals all the way around. The Undertaker references were there all along, really, weren't they? And then, of course, we got the back of the gear, which looks pretty nice as well. Got a little black mark on her butt cheek. I regret turning around now. We've got the wonky cross on the back as well. Maybe she'd have a better chance. Nope. Oh, this might be the first time I have to cut out of a figure review to boil the feet of the figure so that we can continue with the figure review. I've also noticed there's quite a lot of like mess in that elbow, in the crook of that elbow. Part of it is because of the cross on the other side, but yeah, the rest is just Mattel factory gubbins. The paint job on the face is not perfect. The same guy had two copies. One of them was slightly more expensive. Maybe one of them didn't come with the belt, but the one that came with the belt was better painted. That sounds about right. But there was only a few pounds in it anyway, so it was like, well, yeah, I'll pay the extra couple of pounds for the belt and just suck up the paint job. It's not the worst thing in the world. It isn't great. Her eyes aren't that straight. In fact, if we get the old, oh, if I dare try to find the old magnifying glass. Oh, there it is. Wasn't that much hassle after all. It's a bit dusty. I mean, even this Michelle was dusty. Everything's dusty in here. Even if we plan to open a figure more or less straight away, it ends up getting dusty. Okay, so a bit of a better look for you guys. There, you can kind of see it's not the best painted set of eyes in the world, but we've also had much worse. Let's talk about, we'll do joints first, because I think that's been quite concerning already, and I think accessories we might be rambling on for a while. So, in addition to the 2 arms and the 2 feet, I noticed that she's very, very generous, flopping around, which is, you know, it's not an issue we've encountered too much. Hopefully that cross, which will probably break relatively quickly, hopefully that cross can hold it from like leaning forward too much, but left and right, that's not great. The lean is not good at all. Then I think we can see that the issue is this shoulder. This shoulder doesn't go in. Yep, the joint's definitely in the right place. That shoulder, that's the Vietnam factory shoulder, which we haven't seen for a couple of videos, to be fair. A couple of Mattel videos, that is. Obviously, we haven't seen them on AEWs recently. But now we can see why the arms don't go up to the same point. So the shoulder goes out fine, it just doesn't go in. Biceps fine, and the double jointed elbow is fine for now. And the shoulder out. Yep, that one's fine. Biceps fine. Lean we've already done. Waist is fine. Leg up, it's pretty good. Knee, yep. Boot swivel's fine. And then of course the boot, the toe doesn't move. I mean, it's moved up now. Oh, now it's moving. now it's being agreeable. Normally they're just stuck down and you can't lift it up or down. These in this particular were like stuck a little bit down. Yeah, suddenly moving now, so that's good. So we got the leg out. Knee, very stiff in there, but it did move eventually. That boot's actually a bit loose. That's not something we see very often. And then this toe, that one doesn't want to go up so well. Yeah, not ideal. Okay, so hopefully she can stand up a bit better now with the 1 foot up. So in terms of accessories, we've obviously got the interchangeable hands. We've got the 2 pointing hands, of course, so that's cool. And then the unique accessory for this figure is the Women's Championship belt that's split in half. Now, here's what I like and dislike about it. First of all, I like that it's being retooled, not that it's focusing in, because it's much better. There's much better detail on this than on the previous version. You can't really see because it's still not focusing, but the finer grains on the belt are there. There's a lot more detail on this than if I were to show you the one on my Beth Phoenix right now. And that's really cool because it looks like a lot more like the Women's Championship. Second of all, it is novel that the split belt exists. And if you want to do a Lay Cool gimmick or something like that, you have the option of splitting your belt down the middle. I'll also say they've done a decent job of how they've done it because it's clasped. You have to actually put some effort into splitting it rather than it just constantly falling apart. That definitely still could happen, but you know, that's a better way of doing it than like just having it so that it clips together and it just, you know, they always just unclip. One downside, however, is that if you don't want to use it as the split belts, of course, there is a big crack down the middle, and there is obviously the belt looks damaged. The actual strap looks damaged. However, if you wanted to implement a women's hardcore title, I think this is perfect for it. The other thing is, as much as I think it's novel that you have the option to do the split title belt, I don't know who would want to do that. I think that's a very specific niche. Maybe people would want to display Lay Cool. Maybe people would want to put Lay Cool in their Fed. I don't know. But for me, I feel like that's a very, very specific niche of people. Additionally, there isn't a Layla that goes with this. Like I say, I'm out the loop. Maybe there's one coming. Maybe there's a Layla Legends figure. Maybe they're re-releasing the figure that was around the time of the Michelle McCool. But as far as I'm aware, as far as I know, and at the time of releasing this figure, there isn't a Layla for it to go with. So that's not ideal. Furthermore, I hated the McCool gimmick. So as much as I think it's novel that people have the option of doing this, it was bad enough that the McCool gimmick went on as long as it did, and to this day I put on old shows and they come out and I go, oh god, and I roll my eyes and so on and so forth. And now it's taken away my women's title because I can't use this because there's a big crack down the middle. However, as long as they redo this women's title on a figure that you'll probably buy in the future, it's not really a big deal, because obviously I'll just get one of the retooled one without a big crack down the middle in the near future. And one final thing that I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys, but it's actually really badly painted. The red paint on the details is like really, really worn. The focus isn't great, so I can't really show you. Yeah, maybe try that in the magnifying glass as well. Is that a better view? I can't even tell anymore. So all in all, as a review, I could go either way on whether I like or dislike the belt, but I think I dislike it more than I like it. It's cool that it's been retooled, it's cool that it exists, but I don't know how many people on this planet will be interested that it exists, will make use of it existing, apart from potential women's hardcore title belt, I guess. I would rather I just had a women's title that had been retooled. I'd rather I didn't have a relic to a gimmick that I hated, but I guess some people will find it interesting. And I guess technically it is more interesting than just having a million copies of the same women's title, I guess. That being said, the figure itself, the design is really, really nice. This looks really, really good. However, the execution of this copy, which definitely counts in a figure review, especially when we are paying the amount of money we are. This is, to us in the UK, this is a more expensive figure, of course. This was like £23 or something, I think, without the Build-A-Figure piece. Because it's not a UK product. So, you know, I'm paying up for this. The joints aren't great, the paint isn't great, the paint on the belt isn't great. The joints are terrible. To be fair, I'm saying the joints aren't great. The elbows are fine, the waist is fine, the hips are fine. One of the knees is stiff, one of the boots is loose, and both of the toes aren't great. One of the shoulders got Vietnam syndrome, the torso's loose. The paint isn't great on the eyes. The paint's bad on the belt. Poor execution, Mattel. Really poor execution. But unfortunately, this is all I've got. So I am glad it exists. Now, what is she going to be doing in my Fed DSW? Well, I kind of started cutting this segment out, to be honest. Because there's so many people that I've been unboxing that aren't going to appear in DSW for a while. But she is going to be available in the roster. She has a long history with DSW, from the old Jax one that came in the Chuck Palumbo 2-pack. She was in DSW for a very long time, so she does have a long history with DSW. She will definitely be in the women's division. In fact, she has appeared before in the UCFC pre-premiere episode against Maria. And she was also in a segment, possibly from Reboot, possibly from Halloween Havoc, where The Undertaker is cutting a promo and she kind of interrupts to ask him what he wants for his tea and stuff like that. It's just like a little daft joke segment. So she has appeared in DSW. And quite frankly, even though whichever video she was in, it was well over 10 years ago, it's quite recent in the history of DSW because I haven't exactly done an awful lot since. So yeah, she will probably be turning up, probably competing with Beth Phoenix for the title and stuff like that. The roster is nearly spot on. She was one of the very few figures that I wanted for it that I didn't have. And now we've ticked her off as well. So yeah, and we've got some really good women's wrestlers from all periods of time now. So I think we're going to have some interesting matchups and stuff. But that is everything for this video. So if you did enjoy it, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the NWOpening playlist in the end screen for more. And I really do appreciate you guys joining me. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye. God, it's been a while since we had one that went as badly as that. Jesus Christ.